Hello viewers, good evening once again, and I am Michael, and I'm going to take you through most of the commerce topics, especially all the diagrams. That is the plane geometry, we have the bearing, trigonometry, circle theory, mensuration, and the likes. But for today being our first time, we will use this as an introduction. This is algebraic expression. So we are going to solve all these questions on the board, and then our next time or our next video, in our next video, we will start a full topic under plane geometry. We will put them in section, but don't forget to subscribe. At the end of the video, you can subscribe and then share to your friends. So okay, let's get into the business. Now you could see that the number one, we have a square here and we have a difference here. As you already know, we know sum is addition and subtraction is difference, as multiplication is also the product. So whenever you have a difference and you have a square, you have another square, there is a way to go by it, and that is what we call difference of two squares. Maybe someone is new to this particular word, that is difference of two squares. In that sense, you will be solving a few examples under perfect square and the difference of two square before we get into this actual question. So let's start with the perfect square. You see, whenever you have two square, this simply means that we can repeat the two twice. That is 2 times 2. Whenever you have two square, we repeat the figure twice. So the same way, if I should have a minus b all square, since I cannot subtract those in the bracket, then I have to use this same principle by repeating this 2 times. So whenever you have something of this sort and you cannot subtract or add those in the bracket, then you repeat it twice. So this will then be expanded as what? A minus b and then another a minus b. And I hope you know how to expand this. Alright, for the sake of those who are struggling with such problems, we will go into it. So this situation, we will use this whole bracket to expand this whole bracket. So we use the a here to expand this whole bracket. After that, we use the minus b here also to expand that same bracket. And so we would have our a expanding this whole bracket. So it will be a minus b. And then we have our minus b also expanding this whole bracket, a minus b. Now with our expansion, we know a multiplying b will be a square, and then a times minus b will be minus ab, and then our minus b times a will also be minus ab, and then our minus b times our minus b will be plus b squared, because negative times negative is positive. Now after expanding it, we can add or subtract like terms. So you could see AB is in like term with what? AB. Now minus AB plus minus AB will be minus 2AB. And then we have our A square here. And then we have our plus B square. And this is our final answer by expanding this particular bracket. So if we have addition here, we will repeat the same thing twice, just as we did for the subtraction. So let's move on to the difference of two squares. We are through with the perfect square. So let's move on to the difference of two squares. Now, if I have a problem like a minus b, then I have a plus b, and I'm supposed to simplify this, then as we did for the previous one, we do the same thing for this. So we use this whole bracket to expand this whole bracket. So we have our a expanding this, so it will be a into bracket a plus b, and then our minus b into bracket a plus b. Very well. So we expand it as we did for the previous one. So this a times this a will be a square, then this a times plus b will be plus ab. This minus b times this a will be what? Minus ab. And then minus b times plus b will be minus b squared, because negative times positive is negative. I hope you are following. Now, we can add or subtract like terms. And so, if I have plus ab here minus ap, this will cancel this. And so, our final answer will then turn to a squared minus b squared. And this is what we call difference of two squares. And so whenever I have something of this sort, we come out to this one, as you can see on the board. This will result to this. And so if I have a square minus b square, it will then result to a plus b and then a minus b. So one will be addition and then one will be subtraction. That is it for difference of two squares. This is the difference, and this is one square on its own, and this is another square of this on its own. So in all, we have difference of these two squares. So whenever I have something of this sort, one will be addition and one will be subtraction. The square sign vanishes. Good. Now let's get into the question. Now we have on the board, we have question 1. We are solving question 1. So we have a square minus a minus b all square. So we have two methods which we can use to solve this single problem. And the first method is that you could realize we have a difference here. We have our one square on its own. We have another square on its own. So this is difference of two squares, where we say one will be addition, which is a minus b, and then the other one will be the same a, subtraction, a minus b, and a big bracket. And then we proceed by expanding the bracket inside the big bracket. So you have a plus a. This time this will be minus b. Then we have a minus 1 times a will be minus a, and minus 1 times minus will be plus b. And then we close the brackets this way. We can add or subtract like terms, and so a plus a will then be what? 2a minus b here, and then here too we have what? This a will cancel this a, we are left with what? rb here. And then this b, if we should expand this, it means we haven't simplified it. It means we have to factorize it out, and so we leave it as it is. So the final answer will turn b into bracket 2a minus b. And this is your final answer. Or we can also use another method. If you want to copy it, please pause the video and take your time and copy it. But let's use the other method and then find out if you will have the same answer we had for this particular one. So with the other method, we are going to use the two squares method. So this answer we had b into bracket 2a minus b. So let's see if you have the same answer. So we have a square minus our big bracket. We said we have to repeat this one twice. So we have a minus b and then a minus b. We close our bracket this way. We have to bring this big bracket because of this negative sign. So we have a square minus into bracket this whole thing expands this whole thing. So a expands it, which is a into bracket a minus b, and then negative b also expands it, a minus b. And then we have this thing here. We have a square less, as we did previously, we have a times what? A square, and then a times minus b times minus ab, minus b times this times minus ab, and then minus b times plus b squared. And then we can add or subtract like terms. We have a square into bracket this a here. This minus ab plus minus ab will be minus 2ab. And then we have a plus b squared. Now we use the negative sign to expand the whole of this. So we have a square minus times this will be minus a square, minus this times this will be what? Plus 2ab, and then minus times this will be what? Minus b square. And then negative cancels positive. The final answer will be what? 2ab minus b square. But we can factorize it out. So we bring b out, and then b into this 1 times this is 2a, and then b into this, b takes one of this b. So we'll be left with 1b, and this arrives at the same answer as we had for the first one. If you want to copy it as well, please pause the video and copy it. Let's move on to the second question.